Find a reason to be here that's bigger than you are.
I read about this family in the paper. I think this is it.
Less than 20 years after starring in one of the worst religious movies, The Reaping, Hilary Swank is back in a much better religious film called Ordinary Angels. It's one of few new movies I'll be reviewing this week on CJ at the Movies, along with some new films starring Liam Hemsworth and Russel Crowe, and Ethan Coen's solo feature debut of Drive Away Dolls. Let's take a look. Our first movie is Ordinary Angels, the latest faith-based drama based on a true story and starring Hilary Swank as an alcoholic hairdresser who comes across an article about a woman who just passed away and whose little girl is in need of an unaffordable liver transplant.
Hi. Sharon.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to come by and give you this.
I just made dinner if you want to stay.
Would love to.
What are you doing? I met this woman. She's a mess.
Perfect. She'll fit right in.
In my opinion, Ritchson isn't all that convincing as the girl's father, and of course he has to dislike the hairdresser despite her dedication to helping the family, but we do acknowledge why he lost his faith in God, and we do worry for the life of this little girl, even though we know it'll have a happy ending.
We don't need to be running around worrying about money and bills right now. I just want to be with my family.
Life's about saying yes and then figuring out how.
Girls, help your daddy out.
The screenplay for Ordinary Angels was written by Kelly Fremont Craig, who made last year's excellent Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, and actress Meg Tilly. And even though this movie isn't at that level, it still is heartwarming and inspiring thanks to Swank's performance and the movie's ability to thrive over cynicism. And I can promise you this, it's miles and miles ahead of Swank's last religious movie, The Reaping. So check it out. Our next movie is Land of Bad, a war-action thriller that stars Liam Hemsworth as a rookie Air Force combat controller who joins a team on an extraction mission in an enemy zone, and Russel Crowe is the drone pilot who guides the young man when he's in danger.
Is this your first mission in theater, JTAC?
Second. Do me a favor. Keep up. The last thing we need in this op is have to save your ass.
Land of Bad was co-written and directed by William Eubank, who previously made crappy movies like Underwater and The Signal. This movie isn't crappy, but rather likable in the sense that a newbie and an eclectic pro would have chemistry in a manner of life or death. The story is basically the same as other action movies of its kind, but is still as interesting and fun. So you can either complain about the idiocy of last week's Marvel movie Madam Web, or you can take my advice and give this movie a go. Our next movie is No Way Up, which tells the story of an obsolete airplane that crash lands and sinks in the Pacific Ocean, where the few surviving passengers must deal with sharks. So I guess you could call this movie Sharks on a Plane. The production design of the sinking airplane is amazing, especially when the floor lights make the water glow blue, and it would be riveting with sharks involved, especially since a movie like Deep Blue Sea had fun with the concept of a sinking structure and hungry sharks, but this movie is too dull and obvious to even be at that campy level. You have a small cast including Sophie McIntosh as a governor's daughter, Meaney as her bodyguard, and Phyllis Logan as a former war nurse, and none of them have originality in their character development.
We'll need oxygen.
There was a man who had an oxygen tank.
Where are you going?
To get that tank.
The trailers for No Way Up make the film look more interesting than it actually is, but I think we can already tell it would be a crappy shark movie. At least it lasts for 90 minutes. Next up, Drive Away Dolls, directed by Ethan Coen of the Coen brothers, who co-wrote it with his wife Trisha Cook. It takes place in 1999 and tells the story of two young lesbian friends, played by Geraldine Viswanathan and Margaret Qualley, who both decide to take a road trip to Tallahassee, Florida, by taking a drive-away gig.
Pennsylvania's most trusted name in car delivery.
Curly here.
Don't call me Curly.
And your name, Curly?
My name is Curly. We just met. It's too familiar.
That's Bill Irwin as the owner of the establishment, and their trip goes comically awry when the car they're driving has a briefcase inside, originally belonging to guest star Pedro Pascal and now being coveted by Senator Matt Damon. What's inside? It's not what you think.
What?
We should see what's in here.
I bet it's locked.
Drive Away Dolls is a short movie with an imperfect screenplay, and it runs for 84 minutes, but the comedy and performances make it a good ride. The two friends contemplate on whether or not they should develop a relationship, the villains are not supposed to be the serious and irritable kinds, and they're all spiked by Coen taste. Maybe that's the real element of the movie that has us wanting to see it. And our last movie is Lovely, Dark, and Deep, an independent horror film which stars Georgina Campbell from Barbarian as a young backcountry ranger with a new job in a national park where previous rangers and civilians have disappeared, and she's also haunted by the disappearance of her younger sister. While trying to solve her past, she deals with lost people who seem to be involved with some kind of supernatural reality, and she finds herself there.
We have a missing person. Be safe out there, Rangers. Over and out.
At times it's difficult to understand what's going on in her new reality, that is, if we can call it a reality, but then again we're interested in the main heroine and her troubles and we can identify with them. At this very moment, Campbell is able to thrive within the genre and play strong young women who don't expect to be in hellish episodes. Lovely, Dark, and Deep is another entertaining example. Okay, recapping this week's new movies: thumbs up for Ordinary Angels, thumbs up for Land of Bad, thumbs down for No Way Up, thumbs up for Drive Away Dolls, and finally, thumbs up for Lovely, Dark, and Deep. Well, those are the new movies I'm reviewing this week. I'm Christopher Zweig. Stay safe, and I'll see you at the movies. For more amazing content, please like and subscribe to my channels, and please read my reviews at cjatthemovies.com and download the new HD Radio app.